Greetings, wise ones. This is Melissa of 8th House Wisdom, author, psychotherapist, astrologer, feminine energy, and stellar planning expert. I'm here with the video for Pisces season 2023 to talk about how we're going to close out the astrological or zodiacal year and what we need to do to put a pin in that energy so we are ready to go for the spring equinox and the start of Aries season. If you'd like to know more about what the astro weather for this time looks like, how to stellar plan and make the best use of the energies, stay tuned for the rest of the video. Welcome to Pisces season 2023. We are in a period of time right now where we have all planets in direct motion. And that will be the case for the entirety of Pisces season. Pisces season begins at 5:35 p.m. on February 18th. It's going to bring in imagination, enchantment, compassion, mysticism, and a deep level of spirituality. For those of us who are super techie, and especially coming off of Aquarius season, you're going to feel a shift in the energies, moving from the element of air, which is intellectual and communication heavy. We are now going to be moving into the element of water, which is spiritual and emotion heavy. Because Pisces is a mutable sign, the focus on communication will still be there. Having said that, definitely expect to be swapping out your cell phone and use on AI for spiritual technologies like your birth chart, tarot and oracle cards, prayers, and affirmations. All of those things are going to be super highlighted and have great potency during Pisces season. And just a day and a half after the sun moves in to Pisces, we will experience the new moon in Pisces in the wee hours of the morning on February 20th. In between those two events on February 19th, we will have the power of the moon as she slips into Pisces line up with Saturn. So the moon will be in its Aquarius, shifting into Pisces phase, meeting up with Saturn, who is in its last moments and days of being in the sign of Aquarius, currently resting at 29 degrees, which is a critical degree. You can expect the ushering in of this season to bring up something that will be coming up again and again throughout this 30-day period, which is emotions and practicality. The moon represents our emotional nature, and Saturn brings in that level of practicality, rigidity, rules, conventions. Saturn will be making its way into Pisces during this season as well. So consider it a bit of a prelude to what we will be experiencing energetically once we move further into the month of March. To talk a bit more just about what Pisces and season and Pisces energy brings to us, so we really can think about it for stellar planning purposes. Remember, there are a few things to note about Pisces. Number one, it's a yin, which is feminine, mutable / maven, which means it's a communicator, and it ends one season and begins another season. And it's a water sign, as we spoke about, so it represents the emotions and a sense of spirituality. Pisces is also the 12th and final sign of the zodiac, represented by two fish swimming in opposite directions. We are preparing to close out what for me is my third and final new year. We're closing out the zodiacal or the astrological year. In the stage of Pisces, we have accumulated all of the knowledge of the previous 11 signs. That's why the natives born under this influence are naturally psychic and intuitive and referred to as mystics. It's another reason also why they may seem as if they have their head in the clouds and tend to be dreamy, because they have access to the prior knowledge of all of those stages, and that's a lot to contain. Pisces energy in the 12th house energy is known as the house of secrets because it rules the subconscious mind. And Pisces is also known as our blind spot because it tends to sit in an area that is out of logical, practical, and conscious reach. Therefore, it can influence our behavior, but we really don't see its efforts or effects until we've taken them and they show up in our lives. This is when it is important to have people who know you around you, and to track your own patterns behaviorally, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to get insight into how you operate within your blind spot and can begin to learn how to mitigate that. The particular house and planets that you have related to Pisces will give you clearer indications about where that blind spot may be. For me, in whole sign houses, Pisces rules my 10th house of career. The 10th house is your public reputation. It indicates that I should be in a creative career that deals with emotions, the subconscious, and working behind the scenes. Done. Therapist and coach and astrologer. However, this element showed up earlier on in my life, where being a person such as myself who has 2 advanced degrees and spent 20 years working in education and government, I really went a super traditional route because that's what my training and other things indicated. The blind spot for me was that I actually have a 9th house midheaven, which is in Aquarius. And Aquarius, among other things, rules astrology and unconventional professions. So, while my 10th house energy is focused on that, and I definitely took a more traditional approach. When I really began to use my chart to architect my transition out of the work I was doing, because of adrenal fatigue, I recognized that doing things as strategically and traditionally as I did really was what was part of the problem. I needed to work for myself. I needed to be able to have non-traditional work hours. I needed there to be an element of more technology and innovation and unconventional kind of topics related to my work in order to feel at home. And my blind spot for 20 years was thinking I should be doing something else. It wasn't until my body started talking to me that I was able to tune in and make a change that ultimately brought me to what I am doing right now. And I've never looked back and never felt better. That's just one of the ways that knowing your chart and understanding the energy within the next 30 days can help you to not only have more personal insight, but better navigate the next month with ease and grace. So I encourage each one of you to ask yourself, where do you think you may have a blind spot? And take a little bit of time to look into that. Moreover than look into it, feel into it, because that's really what Pisces energy tells you. I mean, it's also illustrated in the story that I offered. When I looked at things on paper, which is a very masculine energy piece, writing everything out and seeing how it does, what I did was perfect. When I felt in my energetic body, in my pain body, and actually in my physical body, into what I was doing prior to 2019, that shit didn't feel good. And I was sick every week. My blind spot at a point just really started ripping me and hitting me in the face. It took great accumulation for me to shift. I'm hoping that for you, things will be different because you have the knowledge with stellar planning to avoid that and to figure out how to live out your birth chart, which is truly a map of your soul's purpose on this planet. We're going to have a lot of breakthroughs in the liminal space. That's another word for the unconscious. You are going to have a lot of thoughts and ideas potentially just bubbling up within you during this period of time. Here's an important key and factor. Do not subject your emotional or spiritual thoughts, ideas, and downloads to logical scrutiny. Logic has nothing to do with emotions or spirituality. If you use logic to review things that come to you easily or come as a feeling or come as an instant knowing, you can talk yourself out of taking that action, which is effectively putting yourself right back in the lovely Pisces blind spot. As a general sign, Pisces are known to make their own difficulty in life and be their own quote-unquote self-undoing. Again, the story I just spoke about illustrates that. I was dealing with challenges, but really it was about my view, my attachment to a certain idea, my ignoring physical stimuli, and it really took reaching a critical mass before I was willing to shift that energy. I bring this up because this is not a period over the next 30 days to be logical. This is not a time to rely on evidence. Things right now are about your gut. You're going to be working from your heart and your solar plexus more than you're going to be working from your logical mind. You may be working from your third eye. But again, our goal is to shift beyond that which can be seen and to feel into the unseen during the next 30 days to really make an impact. Pisces season has some of the most dynamic astro weather for all of 2023. Remember that the sun moves 1 degree each day, going from 0 to 29, and then we will be at Aries. The new moon is when the moon and the sun are in the same sign, and that usually happens within 2 days of the start of the season, and the full moon will occur 14 days after that in the opposite sign of the sun to activate a balancing pattern of energy. If we work with those general hard and fast rules, you've got a great box and quadrant to start working with to plan out the time between February 18th and March 20th and really maximize the energy for your highest good. There's so much astro weather, I could go on and on for days. Head over to my blog and check out the Pisces Sun posts for 2023 so you can see all of the particular dates. But I really want to point out for people the fact that February 7th, March 7th, Saturn moves into Pisces. That's going to be a significant shift. It's one of the most significant events of the entire astrological year. And that energy signature will be with us for the next 3 years. So that's an important date to write down. And that will be followed up in Aries season by another shift. I also want you guys to note that that is the same day as the full moon in Virgo. So talk about intensity. Pisces season is pulling no punches. March 15th, the sun will conjunct Neptune, which is Pisces' modern ruling planet. Jupiter is its traditional ruling planet. So that will be a day where you really need to watch out for wearing rose-colored glasses and not paying enough attention to details. On the flip side, it is a great day to be creative, engage in the arts, and do things that are behind the scenes, create beauty, spiritual value, anything like that. You should feel inspired and ready to go. And last but not least, on the final day of Pisces season, the sun will sextile Pluto. Pluto will be moving into Aquarius just 3 days after this, on March 23rd. The sun and Pluto having a mashup there will be the beginning of a transformational period that will then roll throughout Aries season and the rest of this year, because it's an intense aspect, and Pluto takes 10 to 12 years to move around the zodiac. So again, we are prepping for some of the heaviest and most potent astro weather of the year. You really want to think about how you can make your dreams come true. Recognize that there is power in your sleep. Keep a dream journal to write down the downloads that you're picking up. Practice meditation. Spend time outside in nature and with the earth if you begin to feel foggy, dreamy, aloof, overwhelmed. That just means you need a container for all the water that's pouring through, and you need something that's going to give you an overflow chamber and something that can help ground you. This is a period of time where you can expect more telepathy, more psychic energy, periods of extrasensory perception, a lot more deja vu, and big energy rolling in with our sense of imagination. One of our biggest Pisces people, who actually coined the word Imagineer, is Walt Disney. So just think about all the good stuff about the Disney universe when you're thinking about creating, especially creating stories and ideas that we become emotionally involved with and connected to over our entire lives. That is a great example of Pisces power. And last but not least, just wanting to say that Pisces body wisdom is also important. I talked a lot about my body and how that helps me to tune into my blind spots or not. Pisces rules the feet because it's the final sign of the zodiac, and also the lymphatic system, which provides our bodies a stable base and also helps us to detoxify and clear out what we have in our system that needs to leave. This makes the focus on body wisdom being about movement, because our feet carry us, grounding, because our feet can ground us, and stability with detox. Pisces energy also, an archetype can pull in the addict. Pisces in its shadow side is known for doing lots of escapism. We want to shift away from that and lean into things like getting a pedicure, doing foot soaks with sea salt to help you release extra energy or emotions that you don't need. Try reflexology, both hand and feet, and or put your feet on the ground, bare earth, concrete, brick, grass, beach, and allow yourself to be recharged and balanced. And unfortunately, since most of us have rubber on the bottom of our shoes, once that advent happened, we're no longer able to receive Mother Earth's healing vibes through the soles of our shoe because rubber repels this electromagnetic energy. So this is a really good time, even if you think it's hedonist, to take your shoes and socks off and put your feet on the ground. Let Mother Earth recharge you and balance you so that you can detoxify astrological year 2022 and get ready for what's coming in 2023. This, with the combination of some extra rest, recording your dreams, and pampering and moving your feet, can really help you ride the wave during Pisces season 2023 to experience extra ease and grace. I hope that you have gotten something great and of importance for this video about Pisces energy. As always, stellar planning is where it is at, and in order to do that, you need a copy of your birth chart. So, click the link below and get a free copy of your birth chart from my website so that you can know where Pisces shows up in your chart and what other areas of your chart will be activated, which will allow you to best utilize this information in the coming days. And of course, since I'm talking about stellar planning, I want you to check the link below. So the links below so that you can watch my video on stellar planning for 2023, which will give you a great download of all the information about the big dates showing up in 2023's astro weather. And also, in order to implement that, you will need a copy of the 2023 stellar year blueprint, and the free copy is available for instant download if you click the link below. That way you will be able to triple your manifestations and blessings in 2023. And if you would like a higher level of support for that process, you can check out my course on the wisdombeacon.com, which is the stellar year blueprint with the desire free and clear and the desire map. That comes with multiple videos and multimedia lessons that will help you to track and follow and plan with the astro weather for the entire year of 2023 and help you really tap in with greater support. And for all you cosmic lovers out there, 8th House Wisdom is having a February Cosmic Lovers sale featuring both of our astrology ebooks on love. Get 20 to 50% off through the end of February on Love by the Moon, a guide to nurture the soul of your relationship by the power of the moon, or astrologically Happy Ever After, a guide to dating and finding your soulmate through the power of astrology. As always, wise ones, it has been my pleasure to bring this information to you. Life does come with an instruction manual. It is written in the stars. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and like and comment on this video because it helps me out. Sending so much light and love to each and every one of you for the next 30 days of beautiful, blessed Pisces season. Take care until the next time.